Like what you do, and then you will do your best. No true words have been ever spoken by these words by Katherine Johnson. In this podcast series, created and hosted by Rahul Suri of the Russell Book Club, we will be bringing you inspiring stories and journeys of people who love their chosen profession and are successful at what they do. Namaste, I'm Sana Sharma, your host for this evening, and it gives me great pleasure to introduce our guest of the day, Ms Kopal Sharma. Wears many hats with ease. She is a marketing and business development professional, an advocate for mental health awareness. Her agency Arclight helps founders build their personal brand on LinkedIn and also helps companies with brand building and marketing strategy. Thank you so much for joining us today, ma'am.
Thank you so much for the introduction, Sana. And hi, Rahul. Thank you so much for having me here today. It's an absolute pleasure to interact with both of you.
Ma'am, you have a very interesting career path. So, what made you switch career from finance to marketing? And who were the people who influenced you in making your choices?
Okay. I've grown up in a very middle class family. Okay. And my major source of inspiration throughout my life has been my grandfather. He worked in the government sector, and I've seen him spend a lot of time in the stock market. So post my 12th, when I had to make a career choice, okay, now what do I want to pursue moving ahead? Finance seemed like the perfect choice for me. And it was also of interest to me at that point in time. So when I graduated, I worked with two of the most leading financial firms in the country as an investment advisor to high net worth individuals. While I loved what I did and I was really good at it, right? That job helped me understand that, okay, there are certain skill sets and strengths that I have that can be used in a better manner. Okay. And also, I chased the feeling of contentment and fulfillment at that time, which I wasn't getting from the career path that I had chosen. So I decided to take a step back, reanalyze in life, where am I headed? Is this what I want to do? That's when I boiled down to the skill sets that I was good at, which was communication, people skills, and writing. Now, marketing was not like a natural choice, which means I had to go and explore out there at what was working out for me. And I started off with doing internships, unpaid internships, um, with organizations less aspired for her. I took up courses in marketing, okay, to understand if this is the role that I want to go in moving forward. And that's when I got some clarity. And another way of going about it was, talking to people in the same professional world, right? So there were other alternate career choices that I had also considered at that point in time. But after doing the thorough analysis, I understood that marketing is meant for me. But I gained more clarity on what I want to do within marketing while working, right? So you can only gain so much experience through, your courses. The real knowledge is gained when you are actually on ground and doing the work. So now that I am leading, I have my own agency right now, and I've picked out a niche for myself that came from an experience of the last 3 years, okay, where I have done every job role possible in the field of marketing to understand that, hey, this is something that I like and want to work with. So it was a switch. It took time. Someone who influenced me deeply was my grandfather, to be very honest. He made, he's not there here with us anymore, but what I do remember, and I'm going to take that with me always, that never be scared to fail, okay? Never be scared to experiment in your life. You just have one. So we are often told that, sit down, better your choices ke saath, and, don't take the unconventional path. But with him, I was like, you can take the unconventional path because you don't have to walk the same road that everyone is. Your journey is your journey. So I think that was how my switch came into place. And he's the person that inspired me the most and is still inspiring.
That's so inspiring, ma'am. Can you please tell us more about what Bloomer does and Where did you get this inspiration to make productivity tools for neurodivergent individuals?
So at Bloomer started 2 years back. It's a lockdown baby. The entire idea came in 2020. And it's come from a place of personal struggle, to be very honest, a problem that I wanted to solve for myself. Lockdown has been difficult on all of us. One of the major things that took hit was your time management, okay? Able to understand what you want to do. Your choices were impacted, right? And being someone who's like grown up with dyslexia and who faced immense mental health challenges, I just understood that there are not enough tools in the world to help me declutter my brain and just understand the voices in my head, okay? That is something that I needed particularly help with. So with Bloomer, we are making productivity tools and solutions, which are directed towards helping individuals, particularly people who have ADHD, autism, and dyslexia, manage their time and their day-to-day life better, make better healthy choices in their lives. So we are currently started out with journals, journals which will help you break down your day-to-day schedules, build your habits better, understand what you want in life. So we often confuse with wants and haves. Those are clear difference that people should know, right? And we are often asked to ignore our wants. So with my idea of humor is to make sure that people are embracing what they want, to do more of it and do it well. And the struggles that I have faced growing up, I mean, if I could help other students and people to, break that down for themselves as well and get better at it. Uh, yeah, that's about it. So that is the idea of Bloomer. We eventually also want to venture into providing trainings and workshops for workspaces to be more inclusive of people who are neurodivergent. Okay. Since I've spent 5 years in the corporate world, I also understood that a lot of people are not accommodating of that. It can be as simple as having, audio visual learning modules given to people who are dyslexic, or it can be as simple as having uh, an AI tool to transcribe the meeting when you're having, so that someone else who's unable to catch up, like I was unable to catch up with the meeting flow that used to happen. And I was like, okay, it's very difficult for me to interpret. I'm a slow reader. It takes time for me to process information. Those accommodations were not present. More importantly, they were not even uh, like given importance to that. Okay, this person might take time. So my idea with Boomer is to change that landscape and make workspaces more inclusive and also provide tools and solutions to people that can help them lead a better life and a healthier life.
This is awesome. A very busy professional life, setting up your own agency, along with a leading diabetic chef. You have many roles to play. So how do you manage time like for all this while keeping your mental health in check?
Thank you for the question, Sana. That's a great question. So, I think one of the main things that I've realized with time is to understand when you're not supposed to overwhelm yourself. Okay. We often so the hustle culture has been promoted a lot, right? That ends up individuals end up taking so much on their plate, they overcommit and then they underdeliver. Okay. Since I have 10 things on my plate, one way that I am managing my time right now is to understand that, okay, this is my capacity to work and being okay with it at my own pace and in my own time. Apart from that, giving you a few tips that I use, I always make sure that I have buffer time in my deadlines. Always. If I know that something is going out to a client, let's say on next Friday, okay, I'm gonna take 5 days to do it. I will give the client that saying that, hey, it's gonna take me 7 days. That buffer time allows me to accommodate a lot of things, my mental health, any circumstances that come in, right? Life happens on a daily basis, so always give buffer time to your deadlines. Okay, that is one thing. Another thing is undercommit. Do not overcommit that, okay, I'm going to be able to do this also, 1,000 things. Know what is your potential. because sometimes overcommitting will just complicate things, and when then you under deliver, it's going to make an impact on your profile, your reputation. So it's okay to under commit and over deliver. That is something which is still acceptable. Okay, so this is what works for me. And another thing to manage my time is the Pomodoro technique. So I make sure that I work in in 25 minutes. I work for 25 minutes, I take a 5-minute break. I work for 25 minutes and then I take a 15-minute break. And this technique has really helped me manage my time more efficiently. And I have broken up my days into like 4 halves. Okay, so like morning, afternoon, evening, and night. So I break that up on my journal and I say that, okay, these are my tasks for the morning. And then I try to understand that, okay, what is my body feeling? Because हमारे सबके पास ना एक बहुत casual चीज होती है बोलने के लिए, मेरा मन नहीं कर रहा है या मेरा मन ये कर रहा है. ठीक है, so you need to understand कि यार what is this मन? मन के साथ तो तुम्हारी deadlines चलेंगी नहीं, मन के साथ काम नहीं होगा. But you can use this feeling of want, मन कर रहा है to your advantage and understand, okay, how is your body working? So in the morning, I'm really fresh. That is when most of my ideas come in. So I'm like, okay, morning is scheduled for writing. Okay. By the afternoon, you have lunch. Okay. Your body becomes a little lethargic. There's a low mood. That is when you take up tasks that don't require a lot of cognitive ability, right? That is how you divide. During the evening, then you can take up tasks like that's my creativity time. That is when I do my strategy work and, building my strategies, making creative, writing briefs. Those are things when I do at that time. And then evenings I schedule for, let's say, planning the next day, right? Or replying to people, or at night, okay, replying to people and make sure that my next day is very well planned. So I think this is something which is very important. This is at least I do. And second is understanding yourself. Like your everything is going to change when you just take a pause and listen to those voices in your head and understand, okay, what do you want? What do you want? Everything that what do you want can change everything, or it's the answer to almost everything out there. So I'm listening to myself. Listening to yourself is the most important thing that you can do, and then making it work to your advantage. So that is what I do. And apart from that, how do I keep my mental health in check while having so many things? I heavily journal. I journal every morning. I make sure that I declutter my headspace. So I call it like my brain dump. And then I make it into like I use the Eisenhower matrix to work ahead. So when I brain dump, okay, when there are few things that need to be done right now, okay, that require immediate importance. What's the things that I can delegate? Okay, what are the things that I have to let it go and forget? So basically following that particular matrix has really helped me in my day-to-day life. And then another way to cope up with my mental health is talking to your friends. Please reach out for help. Please do not isolate yourself. Go talk to people out there. It is very important. Okay, find that one person, talk, communicate. I think communicating and expressing how you feel is something that people don't do enough. And that is something that really impacts your mental health. So communicate. It might be hard, but talk. It's because no one can help you till the time you don't tell them how you feel. That is the basic rule of mental health. Basic rule. Because we can't read mind. So if you are in a bad space, if I am in a bad space, usually I reach out to people. I'm like, hey, I'm not feeling the best. Can we just have a quick chat? Or hey, if there's no one around me, I journal. I put my thoughts down. Because when you put them down and when you read them again, you understand, okay, is this even making sense? The minute you start journaling and put your thoughts down, you know that half of them are just things that your mind is saying. You have 70,000 thoughts in a day. Okay, and not all of them are supposed to be heard or listened to. So I think journaling and talking to and having my support system is two things that I heavily rely on when it comes to keeping my mental health in check. And yeah, that's about it.
Wow, this is so inspiring. And with this, we bring the session to an end. Thank you so much, Kopal ma'am, for joining us, and also our audience for joining us. Do visit the social page of Russell Book Club. Please like, follow, and share and support us. Thank you.